For there she is, my friends. We are setting this up and she is coming on screen with me. And what I am doing at the same time, I see some of you guys from Clubhouse coming over here too. We are actually streaming a room into Clubhouse right now. Marie, hey!
Hi!
Let me turn up the volume so my Clubhouse friends can hear you. We actually have a room going right now.
Amazing. You're incredible, Haley. How are you?
I'm good. So Jeff, you're in the top of the room. Can you hear her?
Yes, we can hear her, everything, and everything looks great.
How fun is this?
It's awesome. It's fantastic.
So I was telling them we had a little bit of scheduling conflict yesterday. We were supposed to do like a mini workshop together, but everything is figureoutable.
That's right. It most certainly is. Here we are.
So here we are, and I'm excited because I had a bunch of we've been talking, actually, me and my friends and my audience have been talking for weeks about social media and how social media is such a great place to build awareness content. And I've been teaching what I learned from you like 8.5 years ago about how social media is really just like one piece of the marketing strategy. It's just one piece of the marketing strategy. So I had a bunch of questions I want to ask you about how you feel about that. And it's just perfect with the launch of your, with the launch of B-School that's going on right now. It's also telling everybody that you were literally but you didn't know this at the time, but my very first business mentor, online mentor. No idea what I was doing, and yay, like look where we are so far along. So I wouldn't mind if you just first of all gave like a quick introduction, and then let's talk about how social media plays a very important part in creating a business online, but the ultimate goal is driving people.
Not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I've been successfully running my business for over 20 years now. So email marketing, online content, again, doing it for over 2 decades. So I've really been able to watch the space change over time, been grateful and excited to be here and to be profitable this long and constantly growing. And that's not by luck and that's not by chance, that's really by choice because there's strategy really underneath everything that we do. So let's talk about your question as it relates to social. Social is amazing, right? It's an amazing platform, no matter what platform that you're on. It's a tool that you use to get in touch with, to get in front of your ideal clients, but that's not the be all end all, right? A lot of people are chasing vanity metrics and they get really upset if they don't have enough followers or likes, but it's not about that. It's about money in the bank because likes don't pay your bills. So you have to really have a deeper strategy underneath your business and really understand a customer journey and be able to know how to message so that you can get people from this amazing place of social media down a sales path so that you can serve them on a higher level. So by you serving them, whether it's through email, text message, getting them into some channel, it might even be picking up the phone, depending on what you do for your particular business, but getting people into a sales funnel so that you can develop a relationship with them, you can serve them on a higher level, and that you can make money and they can get the solutions that they want. That's what this is about.
It's a hot conversation lately because the conversation has been in the past about who has the biggest following, who has the biggest following. And it's very interesting when Clubhouse came on the scene, we saw so many people with massive followings that didn't know how to actually bring people through that marketing funnel, that sales funnel. And then a lot of people discovered sometimes that big following wasn't even real.
Interesting. So I even have no idea about that. I remember when Clubhouse kind of first came on the scene, everyone's like, why are you not on Clubhouse? And I'm just like, look, I have a lot of things to do with my day. And, you know, everybody has to follow whatever kind of impulses get them really excited. And anyway, I think that that's quite fascinating because
well, there were lots of strategies on how to build your Instagram or your socials account. So not necessarily, I'm not saying that obviously everybody who doesn't have a big following doesn't have a big following. But the point I'm trying to make is not pointing fingers at like, oh, you bought your followers or whatever it is. But the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter how big you're following if it's not converting into some type of sale at the bottom end.
That's absolutely right. And if you don't have the systems in place or you haven't thought it through or have an ability to then keep creating those systems, no matter what new platforms come on, right? Because whether it's Instagram or it's TikTok or it's Clubhouse or anything else that we don't even know about yet that's coming down the line, you have to understand the fundamentals of business and you have to have really that system and that flow in place if you're going to have a sustainable business that serves you, that takes care of your family, that takes care of your financial goals, and that really serves the community on the long term. Not just a flash in the pan, not just one promo, but we're talking years and decades if that's what you choose.
Well, I actually want to dive into that part of the conversation, because one of the things I love about you is how heart-centered you are and how you teach such a heart-centered approach to business. And really, like, going through your B school, what you teach literally is like how to have your passion become a reality.
Yes.
And how to create a business, not just a following, but how to create a business that comes from the heart so that you really are serving people. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think back in the day, most of us kind of, especially if you didn't grow up around business, or maybe you just have ideas about it from what you've seen in the media, or you even think about salespeople in general as being kind of like used car salesmen. It's understandable that people that have big hearts or this desire to serve to be like, oh, I'm just the creative person, right? I don't want to go into the business side of it because I don't want to be aggressive, or I don't want to be pushy, or I don't want to be manipulative, or I don't want people to feel like I'm just coming at them and pushing things down their throat. And what was really interesting for me, and what I realized early on, and this is actually one of the reasons why I started B School, was because I had discovered that there was this whole other way to build your business, and specifically to become an expert, really master your ability to market and sell. You could do so in a way that brought out the best of your humanity, not the worst. So you would never feel like a used car salesman, and all of the best qualities of who you are deep down, in terms of your ability to be compassionate and empathetic, your desire to be creative and to serve others, your generosity, your ability to listen, your ability to be transparent and honest and really want the best for people. When all of those qualities are alive and firing in you, and you have a little bit, you have some tools and some skills and some understandings and capabilities, all of a sudden your marketing not only becomes highly effective, but it almost becomes like art. And it's an opportunity for you to really serve at a higher level. So you feel great about it. Your customers feel great about it. They wind up getting the outcomes that they really want, and they tell all their friends about it. So it's win, win, win all over the place. So there has to be nothing that's slimy or sleazy or deceptive or aggressive in that style of marketing. But what I found out just by being with people in the world was most people didn't even know that kind of marketing existed. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't understand pricing and positioning, language, copy, kind of all of the elements that go into bringing that kind of marketing to life in a way that was really true to someone's genuine heart and soul, their unique personality, all of the things that really makes them different than everyone else in the marketplace. And I was like, I have to teach people how to do this because I know how to do this. And so that's really how B School was born, because I wanted to give people the skill set that I didn't see anyone else teaching. I wanted to give people the tools they needed to succeed in a way that was completely aligned with their values, and that made it joyful and fun to grow their business, not like something they needed to get through.
I love that. One of the things that, when we've got a lot of people here on Instagram too, and there's a big crossover right now from Instagram to Clubhouse, because obviously as you're scrolling through people's bios on Clubhouse, you come over onto Instagram. So I'm seeing a lot of the faces that are in here come over here and watch the video. And a lot of what's being talked about is this relationship build, especially during this time that we've just had over the last year and so, when this app got really popular. And it's really taken social media alive into a completely different perspective, where all these online relationships are going to text message, and then they're going to the phone, and then they're going to live video screens, and then there's even in-person connections that are happening. And I'm relating that to what you're saying right now, because people always ask me, like, well, why is B School different? There's so many courses out there. Like, what makes it different than anybody else? Like, as long as I know what like my brand is and who I'm marketing to and how to reach them and what to put in front of them, why is it different? But it's that soul marketing. It's that at an energetic level. It's like, it's you setting yourself out from the rest and really distinguishing yourself from the workspace. And my team, my back end team, well, anytime we read something, we're like, bro marketing, ick, creepy, like it just doesn't work. But you teach people such a different way. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I also think too, just to be really transparent and frank, there's, whenever anything is really great or something works really well, you're going to have people that come on board and like, oh, I can do that too. I can do that too. So they might teach on a surface level, but one of the things that makes B School different is we teach you the deep psychology underneath why things work. So I'm not interested in just giving people, you know, formulas or simple things. Like, I want to take your brain and transform it. I want to take your brain and your heart and connect it so that you develop these capabilities so that literally you can market and sell anything you believe in for the rest of your life, which will set you up, in all honesty, for not only financial freedom, but a completely fulfilling sense of livelihood in what you do, because you feel superhuman. Anything that's in front of you, any human that you know that you can serve, you understand how their mind works. You understand how to understand their fears and frustrations, their dreams and aspirations, and put them into language that's going to make that specific human say, oh my God, I need that yesterday, right? And so you can't get that from just quick templates or fill in the blank formulas. Like, you have to go deeper. It has to be done on another level. And that's what we teach people to do in B School. And that's why it's probably one of the most comprehensive programs out there. That's why people come back to it year after year. I mean, I think we've had over 66,000 graduates from over like 400 or 500 or 600 different industries, 161 different countries and territories around the world. There's a reason for that. It's because it works. And just watching people go, some people, you know, I remember being in a grocery store in LA. This was a few years back. And someone's like, are you Marie Forleo? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh my gosh, I did B School when I was near homeless and I was pregnant and I had to make a choice. Like, was I going to do B School or just, you know, I had to sell my couch? Like, it was just all these stories. She said, I have to tell you, it's like 2 or 3 years later, I run a multiple 6-figure business. My daughter's education is paid for. Like, it was just, it's those kind of stories that we've heard again and again and again, where people unlock their ability to be a brilliant business person in a way that's really honest and true to them. And frankly, Haley, I haven't seen any other program really do that at the scale and the consistency that we have.
Well, I'll say, I mean, I want to respond to that in 2 different ways. First of all, you know that your community talks about that too. Like, so when we see each other and we can tell, like, whether it's on a website or even just from the way that somebody's showing up in an authentic way, we're like, did you do B School? I can tell you did B School. Like, you can literally tell with people's marketing that they were a graduate, which is a compliment, by the way. And also, people want to work with, like, as we're collaborating with each other, we want to work with other people who get that. So one of the cool things that comes out of your program, I'm sure you already know this, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that connection to other like-minded entrepreneurs.
Yes.
It's like an immediate, you know, connection that happens, like a family that you've created. You know what I mean?
And that's huge too, because it's important. I mean, the world of business, right? It's an enormous place. And just like any particular subset, culture, industry, there's going to be all different flavors of humans. And I think what is incredible about B School is you meet people that are in business for all the right reasons. Yes, they want success. Yes, they want that freedom. But what they're really committed to is making a difference to other people. And so they have incredible integrity. They've got a big heart. They're willing to take risks, and they want to support other people in winning. So it's not about tearing anyone else down. It's about saying, oh my gosh, she has a great idea. Yes, I can connect you with this person. This person could help you grow. So having that type of positive, uplifting, very supporting environment, also with those kind of relationships. I mean, this is probably one of the things I've heard most over the years, is how so many people have built their businesses on the relationships that they've had in B School, because people are so connected.
Hiring copywriters and market. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so that's a really beautiful thing. And I get so jazzed about that. The thing that makes me happiest in the world, Haley, is seeing other people win. Like, that's why I do what I do. That's the only reason I do it.
And you teach people to do that. That's
Yes.
your whole concept.
Yes. And so when you do that as a business owner, and when you fall in love with your customers, whoever your market is, and you get so into, like, who is this soul? Who are these souls that I am meant to serve? Because I'm not meant to serve everybody, right? No business owner is, but who are these incredibly unique, quirky, multi-passionate people that I want to support and help them find success? And when you have that mentality and you really fall in love with your customers, all of a sudden you learn more and more about them. You know, you pay attention to what they're saying on social media, you pay attention to their customer service emails that come back to you, and you always find new ways to help take them to the next level. And so it becomes this really beautiful win-win cycle, where you not only fall in love with your customers, but your business becomes sustainable over time, because those are deep-rooted relationships.
Yeah, I love that. Did you ever think, like, when you're creating B School the very first time, like, it was going to be like this?
No, I will tell you, I had no idea. Like, I just felt so frustrated in myself because I was meeting so many mostly women at that time who wanted to start their own business, and they were terrified and they didn't feel like they could do it. They didn't feel like they were good enough. And again, you have to remember, this is over a decade ago, like 12 or 13 years. They thought it had all been done before. They thought no one was going to pay attention. They didn't have the right degrees or the right certifications. And I wanted to shake them, lovingly shake them and go, well, no, and I often talk about this in B school. It's like, one of my core beliefs is that every single human being on the planet is here with a unique set of gifts, like very specific talents that only you and you alone can bring the world. And you're a one-time mega event in the universe. And if you don't do everything possible to bring those gifts out into the world, and if you want to do it through the vehicle of a business, to do that in the most effective, powerful way possible, you're stealing from those who need you most. Like, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who have a problem, some kind of itch that they want to scratch, some kind of fear or frustration that you have the solution for. And by you playing small or going like, well, I don't really want to, send that text message or that email broadcast, or I don't want to do that clubhouse room or whatever it is, because you have so much fear that you're not good enough, you are stealing from people who really need what you have to offer. So I think that arc that we get people over in B school is not only giving them the skills and the capability, but unlocking that confidence that all of us need in order to serve at the highest level. And I didn't plan on that necessarily happening, but I think because I'm so passionate about people having the tools that they need to win, that's what winds up happening. And that's how kind of the program has snowballed over the years to become this beautiful monster that it is.
So it's like literally the methodology that you're teaching is instilled in the course itself, and that is why it's become as successful as it is.
Yes, and that's why people keep coming back, and I'm really proud of that. One of the things also that makes us different is the fact that every B schooler has lifetime access to the program. And so we've just continued to grow it and refine it and make it better over the years. And so many of our B schoolers, in fact, our most successful ones, come back year after year to refresh themselves, because what we teach are timeless principles that no matter what's happening in the technology world, if you think about it like a big ocean, right? The waves are kind of like this, oh, Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, it's like those waves will always change. But what's deep underneath are the principles of understanding human psychology, understanding sales process, understanding pricing and positioning, messaging. All of those things don't change. Human psychology hasn't changed that much in literally, tens of thousands of years, right? So when you master this stuff on the bottom, you become like an artist with everything else that happens on the top. And so people come back year after year to refresh on that. And of course, as your business changes, because all of our businesses change, as you evolve as a human being, you have new things that you want to do. You kind of put new products and revenue streams through the B school model. I was just talking with someone else today who said, oh my gosh, she's a very successful business owner, right? I think multiple seven figures. And she's like, I have ideas for what I want to do next. And I literally have them. And I know as soon as I'm ready, I'm going to take that new idea. I'm going to put them through the B school lens. I'm going to do the program again, because it'll help me check all the boxes I need to give that new business the best possible chance for success.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's no way that anybody can really do it all the first time around. It's like there's a lot in there, and I'm not saying that to a from a place of like being overwhelmed, because
right.
You definitely can complete it in the time that it is. But as far as like implementing, it's awesome that you have lifetime support, because you are going to dig into one and you're going to relate, you're going to connect to some piece of it at one point, and then you're going to dive in and you're going to make that awesome in your business. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I'm now ready. And you may not even really see or relate to this one module. And then it comes up 3 years later. And then you're like, okay, now I'm ready for it.
Yeah. And
that's what happened with me.
It's honestly like we were just creating something new. And it was like, okay, ideal customer avatar, and went down and dug deep into every single aspect of what we put together and teach. Like, I put myself through the paces still because they work. Because it gives everything that I'm creating the most deep and rich and solid foundation to serve at the level that I'm committed to. Like, if you know me, Haley, it's like, I don't just crank out stuff, you know what I mean? Just like, what, throwing stuff at the wall. No, I want it to be thought through. I want people to feel the depth of, and the breadth of what we put into it. And that's what we teach you how to do. And then the other thing I wanted to say is this. It's like, it's not just my brain that you get access to, although I'm going to be with you guys virtually every week for this summer session. And this is what's great. It's like we have these study halls and these office hours where as you're working through the program, if you've got a quirky question, you're like, gosh, I'm a little stuck on this. Like, we're there for you. We have incredible B-School mentor coaches who are also successful business owners themselves. They've all been through B-School. They're from all around the world, different ages, different backgrounds, different business types. And so to be able to have other people's supportive perspectives, to be able for them to share their experiences, to say, hey, I totally get that challenge. Here's something I wanted to offer to you. Somebody else coming in and saying, oh, wow, I dealt with that. Here's a resource that you might want to check out. And people just believing in you. I think one of the things that I've seen so often, and this breaks my heart, is so many creative people don't have a lot of folks around them that believe in them. And maybe even more so, try and stop them from going for their dreams and saying, no, 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 that's a little too crazy, or no, 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 that's a little too risky, or I don't know if anyone's going to really like that. And, you know, at that tender stage, when you're trying to get out something big and new, people can squash your dreams pretty fast. And one of the other things that's great about B-School is like, you'll get honest, valuable feedback, but in a way that supports you moving forward, that doesn't crush your dreams. Does that make sense? So it's not just about like rah, just, oh yeah, any idea is great. Because if someone shows up in a coaching session with me and I can see problems, I'm gonna point that out, but I'm gonna do so in a way that helps them learn how to see that for themselves the next time, and then give them some concrete steps to correct course so they keep growing.
Yeah, I totally love that. I want to wrap. I know you're on limited time, so I want to kind of wrap up and have you do the rest of what you've got going on today. Are you in LA or are you in New York?
I'm actually in New York. I'm out in Long Island right now, and it's beautiful.
Okay, I'm on the West Coast right now. So anyway, one thing that we've been talking about, just kind of coming back to our beginning of our conversation. And by the way, you guys, I was one of those people that Marie is talking about when I started B-School. I know a lot of people look at me now as like she's all that, but I mean, 10 years ago, I wasn't. Like, I wasn't, you know, I had quit the practice of law and I was making a 6-figure income, but I decided I wanted to follow my passion and become a Pilates and a yoga teacher. And then that wasn't enough. I knew there was more. I knew I could be serving more people. I started watching people in the online space. I started watching what we now call social influencers. And I took Marie's program and I realized that my voice could be heard in a bigger way. And that's when I also got involved with my network marketing company, doTERRA Essential Oils, and blew up my business. Like within a year of going through your course, I was like debating whether or not that I could even pay for it at the time. Now I think about that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like thank God I did, right? Because it literally changed my life. And then have been able to do so many things in the aspects of digital courses and memberships, teaching people how to do what I did because of the guidance that I was given. So, you know, what she's saying is real. It's not like that one person living in a trailer. It's like me. I mean, I wasn't living in a trailer, but I was that person that didn't believe that I could do more. I wasn't raised that way. I was just like a girl from Jersey. Like, you know, I was like, this is what we do. You become a doctor or a lawyer, an accountant or whatever. And, you know, you make 6 figures a year and that's your life. And you live in this neighborhood and this is what you do. And I didn't believe that. So I decided to step out of my comfort zone, by the way. It was uncomfortable, but I'm so glad that I did, because if I was looking back now, 8.5, 10 years ago, I would be more uncomfortable thinking about what I could have done.
Yes, that you just underscored something so big. I feel like we all have this window in front of us right now with, you know, how the world has shifted so much. You know, hopefully we're still coming out of this and everyone's going to be healthy and we're going to get back to or an even better version of the world. But my point is this. There's this window of opportunity that's open right now for people to make big shifts and big changes. And I don't think that window is going to stay open forever. And that's one of the reasons why we actually wanted to do a B-School summer session, because I kept having this intuitive hit that people need these skills. There's a lot of people thinking like, you know what I did before, I'm kind of done with that. And I know that there's this next chapter for me and I know it's possible. And I will tell you, the next 3, 5, 10 years are going to go by whether or not you trust yourself and chase that dream. And in 10 years, you're either going to look back like Haley did and be like, oh, my life is completely different. I have the time freedom, the financial freedom. I am making an impact in a way I never even dreamed I could. Your world can expand so hugely, but you have to trust yourself. And in terms of us and our program, we back it up with a money back guarantee. Like, I would not be here 12 years later if I was in the business of just taking people's money, right? That's not who I am. And it's never what I would do. But the thing is, you've got to trust yourself. And you've got to trust that small voice inside that says there's something in here for me. It may not make sense right now. It may be the most terrifying thing for you. And we get that. I honor that and I respect that. But we've got a long enough track record. And Haley is someone who you love and trust. We've got literally hundreds of case stories of people in that same exact position who said, I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to say yes to me. I'm going to say yes to my dreams and just use us and B-School as a vehicle to fast track your journey.
Yeah, I just remember that moment that I said yes. I was visiting my parents. I was in Florida. I was standing in front of the ocean and I was like, should I do this? This is so expensive at the time. Like I remember that moment of saying yes. I want to just let everybody know that I put a link in the chat. You can scroll and Kayla can post again because Marie has a training tomorrow morning. Well, in the Pacific time, it's tomorrow morning. It's what time is it, Marie? What time is the training tomorrow? We have a link here for you guys if you want to take the training with her. It's a free training to decide whether if B-School's for you.
I think it starts at 1 p.m. I believe
Yeah,
Eastern Standard Time, but I have to go look at it. But it's all there.
It's all there. If you guys click the link, you can go ahead and do the training and see if this is for you. But kind of coming full circle, like I was just saying, we're talking about the world changing. How do you see social media playing a role in the world in the future?
Well, there's a couple things. I think you have to think about that in a few different ways. If you're looking through a business lens, which I'm going to be looking at right now because we're talking to entrepreneurs, I think in a business lens, you want to think about it like any other advertising channel. Like if you enjoy social media and you love it and it's just fun personally, that's amazing. But you want to get really hyper strategic as a business person to understand, okay, there's this incredible opportunity to connect with my ideal clients. First, you have to identify who those are and then just start that relationship with them on social. But you have to have the system to transfer the communication off of social into some type of other conversation, either on email or on text or a combination, so that you can serve people. Don't pay attention to vanity metrics like, oh my God, I have to have a gajillion followers or a gajillion likes. The metrics that really matter are your profitability, your sales conversions, how happy you are, how satisfied you are. Is your team at the level where it is? It's like the metrics that matter aren't always the superficial ones, and most often they're not. So that's how I see social playing in terms of business moving forward. You have to really think about it like television, like print, like email, like any other ad channel, and you want to be really strategic about it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And you guys just pay attention because there's some really good gems that are being dropped here, like we say on Clubhouse from Marie. And you want to be in the know right now because if you're not, first of all, online, if you're not playing in the online space, it's like not only are you stealing from other people because you can't give your voice back, but you're not going to have a space. But also, we want to keep up on the current trends. And we want to know what's going to work and what and how to not waste your time, like how to spend your time in a way that matters so that you can have, I was just in my pool, like, 30 minutes ago before we got on today, in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, right? Like you want to be able to do the things you love, eat the food that you eat, hang out with the people that you hang out, be with your kids, have the freedom and not like spin your wheels trying to figure out sales and marketing hacks that don't work.
Well, and I just want to underscore this. It's like most people, especially when we're first starting out, and this is so understandable, we're doing way too much. It's kind of like spraying everything out there. And I think especially as it relates to social, it's really easy for people to spend way too much time on social media and not spend enough time on other aspects of their business that could be driving a lot more revenue, that can be driving a lot more results and a lot more positive outcomes, both for your business and of course for your customers. And so I think social plays a role. I think that currently a lot of people are making it too outsized of a role in terms of their whole day, right? If they're spending 4 to 8 hours a day working on their business. So I think less is actually more as long as you have the right strategy underneath it, which is what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you. I know you've got a million things to do. I'm going to wrap up here. Love you too. And thank you for coming and hanging out with all my friends.
Yeah. Oh no, this was so great. And for anyone thinking about B-School, if you want to do it, please come do it now. It's not going to open up again for a while. So now is the time. Get your butt in. And Haley, we love you. So thank you so much. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, you guys, I'm going to come back over to my Clubhouse friends right now. So we will go ahead and we'll post this video. We'll go ahead and download this video and we will post it in the IGTV. If you do want to check out the event that she's creating tomorrow morning, I have just an easy, pretty link for you. It's haleyhobson.com/Marie training. It's that easy. You don't have to remember anything. haleyhobson.com/Marie training. We, again, will bring this over to the IGTV if you want to watch her interview again, and we will email it to everybody who registered yesterday for the mini masterclass and didn't get to see her live. So Instagram, my friends, until tomorrow or whenever I see you next, or in 5 minutes when I do a story, I'm going to go hang out with Clubhouse, so come on over with us. See you soon. Mwah!